Good day, everyone. We are in Belgrade branch of Swiss Medica 21st Century. And today we will listen to amazing story of one patient, Mr. Kevin, and know how to, believe in future and what great changes can happen when you strongly believe. Okay. Please, Mr. Kevin, tell us your story. What happened to you and how it happened that you are in this clinic?
Okay, of course. On the 5th of May 2013, I was at home and I simply wasn't feeling well. And I passed out. Literally. Simply passed out. I fell forward with my upper body, my torso, landed in my box. The box was just below the height of my knee. Because I didn't fall flat on the floor, it caused me to hyperextend my neck. Central things within a car accident that you get with dash. I was unconscious for 4, possibly 5 seconds. When I came to, I had no feeling in my hands, and I was completely paralyzed from the waist up. That small innocuous bone caused me to damage my spinal cord. And yeah, as I'm sure you appreciate, that was catastrophic. Now, I was rushed to hospital. But the first night, I didn't sleep a week. My life had just been spun upside down, turned inside out, completely chaotic. Instead, I did 3 things, which I believe my nurses, the doctors, the physios that I worked with at the time, believe had a huge impact in what was about to unfold. Number 1, I visualized myself walking over and over and over again. Number 2, I made a decision that I've already recovered. And number 3, I committed wholeheartedly that whatever I could do to aid and facilitate my recovery, I was all in. So the following day, I had an MRI scan, and based on the MRI scan, it was indicated that the reason I had such devastating results from such a small fall is that I already had a prolapsed disc in my neck, a disc that was out of place, that was squeezing on my spinal cord, impinging on the spinal cord. So when I fell, it just exacerbated the whole situation. That left me with swelling and bruising on my spinal cord, and the level of my injury was C4, C5, incomplete. So as time went on, I had much physio, and the physio resulted in some great progress moving forward. My recovery was incredible. But one of the things I advise everyone, and one of the things I tell everyone, is everything happens twice, once in your mind and once in reality. So I believe one of the reasons significantly why I saw such incredible results is because I didn't have any other decision, any other outcome in my mind apart from success, apart from moving forward, apart from having a great result. So I visualized daily and I committed because I couldn't commit more to my recovery. So that was part of the process. Now, I received 2 lots of opinions that the impinged disc that was in my neck, the prolapsed disc, that I should have it removed because if I ever fell, if I got into a car accident, the possibility is that I would paralyze from the neck down. So I had an operation. They call it an anterior cervical dissectomy, where they removed the disc from the front, got tallows on it. That was honestly the worst thing I ever did. After having that disc removed, my recovery started to unravel. So let me backtrack. I had my injury in May 2013. In August 2014, I had the disc removed. In that 14-month period, my recovery was incredible. I was in the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I was able to walk maybe 1 mile, which patches, but maybe 1 mile. I had tightness in my legs and some pain, but it was all manageable. After having that disc removed, everything started to unravel. My recovery started to go backward. My nerve pain started to increase to the point where over the course of the next few years, I could no longer go to the gym. The pain out of 10 on a daily basis was 7 or 8. And if I was on my legs too much, maybe 12 or 13. So the pain was incredible, debilitating. It completely shattered my life. But I have a very clear focus that nothing is impossible. In actual fact, Audrey Hepburn, the famous actor, she said, the word impossible, when you break it down, says, I am possible. So I always believe that you can achieve anything with your mind. So I focused, and I would always try different things. Physiotherapy, acupuncture, electrolysis acupuncture. I tried so many things. I spent so much money on having some kind of recovery, but nothing was aiding. Everything was kind of unfolding and just getting worse and worse and worse, and more everything. So maybe 4 years ago, so maybe 2017, I first heard about stem cell treatment. And it was another clinic I heard about, and I did some research. And at that point, I didn't even have the financial resources to make it happen. But I believed that something would happen. The universe would bless me in some way, shape, or form. So I did some inquiries. I kind of put it to the back of my mind temporarily, but I knew it would happen at some point. The pain kept slowly increasing. It was maybe 2018 was the last time I ever went to the gym. After that point, if I trained, I was in too much pain. So it didn't make sense to go to the gym because of the course to discomfort of that. In 2019, I did some more research, and I knew that I was going to find something. And I believe it was in 2020, just randomly looking online, I came across Swiss Medica. I had some interaction with the clinic. I didn't have the financial resources to make it happen at that point. But I was very, very impressed with the level of response from the team, with the sincerity, with the level of information. So I had positive feeling in my mind. I want to explain to you how the universe works. In August 2020, I said to my partner, I don't know how, and I don't know where, but on the 5th of May, 2021, I'll be in a clinic somewhere receiving this stem cell treatment. The 5th of May is pivotal because that's the anniversary of my injury. I said this in August or September last year. In November, I got an opportunity with regards to my work that exploded. I mean, 2 months, I had the financial resources to make it happen. I was then contacted again by the head office to let me know there were some available spaces. And on the 2nd of May, I flew to Serbia, which meant on the 5th of May, I was in the clinic receiving stem cell treatment, which is the exact message I put out to the universe. Now, some people might say, okay, this is interesting. These maybe is some coincidence. In life, there are no accidents and there are no coincidences. You manifest your reality through your thought process. You have to believe, and you have to be very intentional about your purpose, and you have to have a lot of clarity with regards to your outcome. So that was my journey up until this point of having my first treatment in May. As I said, prior to my treatment here, I was at maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10 day in terms of pay. I hadn't been in the gym for years. After my first treatment here, before I went home from that 10 days, my level of pain had already reduced. On going home, my first 2 weeks, I allowed my body to settle down. In England, I see a physio every week. After 2 weeks, I was back in the gym. I am now in the gym 3 times a week. Across the course of the years, I've always taken medication, pharmaceutical medication for pain relief. And I've tried many, many, many times to wean myself off of my medication, to reduce my medication. At all of the time previously, pain would be too much. And I didn't have a good enough quality of life. So I had to go back to the medicated level. Since coming to the clinic, not only am I back in the gym, and yes, I have more pain because I'm working the muscles, but not only am I back in the gym, I've managed to reduce my pain medication by 33% and maintain the reduction. That's never happened before. My progress was incredible. I haven't done weights on my legs for 6.5 years. In July, I was able to do weights on my legs. Yes, the recovery was challenging, and over the course of 1 week, there was a lot of pain. But after 2 weeks, I did weights again on my legs. And not only did the repetitions increase, but the level of weight I was able to exercise with also increased. So my strength would just go from strength to strength. The reason I say my recovery was incredible is we are in a very strange time right now. The world is in a very, very traumatic state with this pandemic. And unfortunately, I got COVID at the end of July. This undone a lot of good work. And it took me a couple of weeks to recover from COVID. We are now in August, and I'm back at the clinic again. But even after going through COVID, I'm still stronger than I was before my first trip hit. So consequently, everything is still on the up and up. And I believe it's only a matter of weeks before I get back to where I was previously. Now, I know you might be wondering, why do I have this outcome when maybe not all patients was possible? You can't guarantee anything in life, but you can certainly give yourself a much higher possibility of a positive outcome when you have the right thought process. Visualization is one of the most powerful techniques that you can adopt to take control of your mind, because the mind-body interaction, you cannot put enough value on that. Not only having a positive mindset, because it's easy to be positive, but you have to believe fundamentally that the positivity residing in your mind is going to push you towards your outcome. So you have to focus not on the how. The how is not your responsibility. The how is the responsibility of the universe. God, universe, however you put it. Your responsibility is your focus on your outcome. And as I said before, everything in life happens twice. What's in your mind and what's in reality. Now, as individuals, we all experience worsened things. We make choices or we make excuses. And life is determined based on which side of the fence you fall. I don't make excuses. I haven't got time for excuses. Excuses will not produce the result I'm looking for. I only make positive choices that will facilitate my result. My journey here so far with Swiss Medica, I cannot express the level of gratitude or the experience, the professionalism, the integrity, the level and attention to detail. I have worked with many physios over the past 8 years, your head physio here, I have never encountered someone with more experience and with a greater level of persuasion and consistent pushing for you to achieve what you want. I believe the facilities, the treatment, all in combination, is absolutely right, boss. Absolutely right, boss. I'm quite giving you a bit of an understanding as to my journey so far, but also why I believe I've had such a result. Because it's not just a journey. It's not just a treatment. 3 people can have the exact same treatment. But if their mindsets are completely different, I promise you, they will have 2 completely different outcomes. The mind is integral in this whole process. I'm sure we have some questions to us ask.
Yeah, I'm sure that many patients, probably 100 or 1,000 patients, will watch this with spinal cord injury, will watch this video. If, for example, these people were here near with us, what recipe, your individual, recipe, how not to fail, how to continue fighting, can explain these people, at least their psychological state, what should it be like? I know that not all of them will come because it's difficult, for many reasons, but probably today, when they watched your video, can greatly change this, can change tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, because you're a very, enthusiastic person, and really what is your will inside and how you are thinking, you are believing, it's important. It is like 100% how it happens after the therapy. So what secret can you share with them? What challenge you can send to these people who are like with us right now?
Okay. I'm going to speak directly to the camera.
Okay, sure.
I want to understand. Your thought process will determine and dictate your outcome. Language is the precursor to behavior. The way we speak will engage with the thoughts in our mind, but more importantly, will dictate how your unconscious mind operates. So you have to think on the basis of a positive outcome. That's the first thing. The second thing, as I mentioned, you have to visualize consistently what you want your outcome to be, because the mind-body connection is far underrated. If I may, can I give you an example? In 1967, an Australian psychologist called Dr. Alan Richardson, who conducted a study. He had 3 teams of basketball players, and you had them practice shooting free throws from the free throw line. Team A, they practiced every day for 20 days, for 20 minutes each day. Team B, they practiced on day 1 and day 20 for 20 minutes each day. And Team C, they also practiced on day 1 and day 20 for 20 minutes each day. But he had them visualize shooting free throws for every day for 20 minutes. When he had them visualize, he had them engage as many of their senses as possible. So see what they could see, hear what they could hear, feel the touch of the board, the smells, engage with as many of senses as possible. So on day 20, he took a measurement to engage the results. Team A, they practiced every day for 20 days. They had a 24% increase, but that's expectable. They practiced every day. Team B, they practiced on day 1 and day 20. No surprise, they had 0 improvement. But here's the important thing. Team C, they also practiced on day 1 and day 20, but then they visualized every day for 20 days. They had a 23% improvement, 1% less than the team that practiced every day. That is the power of visualization. Look this up from Google if you do not believe what I'm saying. Dr. Alan Richardson, and it's the study about visualization. That is how powerful visualization is. So As well as having a very clear intention, you have to visualize. But here's another thing, another part of my secret ingredient. I meditate every single day. And a lot of people are uncertain what you mean when you say meditation. You don't have to sit with your legs crossed and focused on anything in particular. You can just focus on your breathing. And when you engage with your breathing and you calm yourself down, you then have a very clear intention. Now, when you have an intention about the breathing, when you have an intention about the outcome, what you then have to do is have an elevated emotion. So it's going to sound complicated, but you have to feel greater than you think. So your feeling about the intention of the outcome has to be greater than your thoughts on a daily basis. I can give more detailed explanation at some other time, but I want people to understand meditation is critical in achieving the outcome. These things added together, plus belief, which is fundamental, create maybe 90% of your outcome. The rest is taking massive action in that direction. So those are what I would say are my kind of secret ingredients. Visualizing, the power of belief, meditation, and having clarity, having focused intent on what I want to achieve. And only focus on the intention. The how, as I mentioned, that's not my responsibility. What I want, that is complete my responsibility. So, for those who mainly have suffered spinal cord injuries, and a bit give it nothing but doom or gloom, I don't have a lot of hope. You have to take control of your thoughts. You have to take ownership for the outcome you're looking for. And as I said, nothing is guaranteed. However, these things can significantly increase the chances of you having a positive outcome. And I personally believe if I've been able to experience what I've experienced, the universe giving me opportunity after opportunity, it hasn't happened because I'm lucky. It's happened because I'm decisive. It's happened because I'm clear about my outcome. It's happened because I have an intention to improve. When you take ownership, the universe will support you.
Very interesting. And can I ask you, during the day, for example, ordinary day, how much time it could take you to practice with visualize? So is it how many hours, minutes? I don't know. It's very interesting.
So my morning routine, every morning, I take 2 hours at the beginning of every day that is focused on me. And when I say focused on me, no technology. So many people, they wake up and they check their cell phone.
It is a reflex right now. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have no technology first thing in the morning. No messages, no emails, no social media. Nothing. Because too often, if you engage messages, social media, you are taking and putting someone else's agenda. I focus my mornings on myself. So stretching, visualizing, meditating, and having a clear intention of what I want the universe to bless me with. And I forgot to mention, I have one other secret ingredient. I have a vision board. It's something I've done for many years. At the beginning of every year, I create a vision board. And my vision board is on my cupboard at the end of my bed. So it's the first thing I see when I wake up, and it's the last thing I see when I go to bed. And I focus on my vision board. And once again, if you're uncertain about vision boards, go onto YouTube, look up vision boards, and you'll see that many successful people have focused on vision boards for many, many years. I'm sure many of you watching are familiar with the actor Jim Carrey. Yes? Okay, so if you are not certain of Jim Carrey's story, When he was struggling actor, he was going on many auditions and not having a lot of success. He wrote a check to himself for $10 million for acting services rendered. And he used to go to Hollywood Boulevard every day and sit down and visualize and focus. Jim Carrey's very first successful film was Dumb and Dark, where he was paid, you guessed it, $10 million.
Same price as he imagined earlier.
Visualization. He wrote that check and he carried it in his wallet every day. And when he received that check, he was so confident that he manifested that, he gave that check to his father because he knew from that point onwards he was going to create the life that he wanted. You take control of your life based on your thoughts, your vision, and the outcome you want.
So only 2 hours. Yeah, this is was just during a working day. Or I think for achieving such great goals, people can at least try to spend these 2 hours on focusing over these things.
Yes, and remember I mentioned that language is the precursor to behavior. Well, Yoda, he said we cannot try. We either do or we don't. Try is sat in the middle. It is what we call the halfway tree. I cannot try to pick this watch up. Either pick it up or I don't pick it up. So we have to be very, very aware of the language you use because the language will drop them apart. We have a question.
I wanted to tell you that sometimes patients really who come for the therapy, they are hesitating. This kind of therapy with the stem cells is quite new, yes, in medicine, and it can work. It is very individual kind of outcome for any patient. But what can you say if from the very beginning patients very often they have depression? It's very common thing, because they can foresee their future, etc. And being in such a serious condition, it's difficult. What can you say from your point of view for patients to staying in depression? These heavy thoughts. Everybody understands that it makes life awful. It's not the recipe. It's on the contrary that what you have explained. But what happens if patients are in depression, from your point of view?
From my point of view, it's just my own opinion that if you are in a depressive state, your mind is in a negative spiral. And this will impact heavily on any potential outcome. So you have to first focus on gratitude. And this is another part of my own pursuit. Every day, I focus on 3 things that I'm incredibly grateful for, but here is the caveat. It can cost no money. So, prime example, I'm grateful for my eyes because they allow me to be the devourer. I'm grateful for my ears because they allow me to hear and interact with my children, my grandson. I'm grateful for the fact that I woke up this morning because today was not promised. Gratitude is a very high frequency emotion. And they say gratitude is next to love in terms of the vibration. If you focus on gratitude and completely absorbing the feeling of gratitude, this will slowly, my opinion, I'm no doctor, so I cannot prove this medically, but in my opinion, slowly move you out of depressive states. Because they say that gratitude and depression cannot live in the same body because they are polar opposites. So if you focus on gratitude, not only will that increase your vibration, it will improve your mental state, which will then allow you to open your mind And this is the first place you have to be in before you embark on injury. Because if your mind is in the wrong space, you will sabotage your success.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. I think this video today that many patients will see sooner or later will help them in daily activity. And who knows, these 2 hours, they can also devote to future for better outcome and living in this positive atmosphere with being grateful, with positive assessment, and be sure that something can happen.
Absolutely.
Will help.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your story, for your recipe, for all parts which you indicated. We are very thankful for it, and I am grateful to the universe that I have met you. It is a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.